Hey everyone, this is Mr. Van on Labor Day Monday, the day before school normally starts. It's of course going to be a little bit different for all of the grade 12s and for all the students in high school this year. And we'll talk a little bit about those orientation days and how they kick off on Thursday and a bunch of other things. I wanted to send a quick few minute video just to go over what I think are some important things for everyone to know in a time where there are a lot of unknowns and we're in a time where there are a lot of things still to be figured out. But I want to rest assured with all the grade 12s and all the grade 12 families that I, alongside you, will figure out exactly what we need to know for every single thing that we run into. I think even though this isn't in any way the way we imagine finishing off our journey, I think the same principle of togetherness is as equally important as I talked about in our first grade 8 assembly as it is now in grade 12 as we round out the 5 years. And we'll do that together. And so I think that's the message I want to kind of start and open with and probably close with, is just to say that although this is without question the oddest and most significant for all of our students and for everyone in the school, know that we'll be doing this together, and that we can value and we should continue to value connection, and that I'll always be there to help you find that if you're finding it difficult to see it yourself. So with that said, let me tell you just a little bit about what's coming. First of all, there will be a lot of information that'll be on the website tonight. That's Monday night from our administration mostly. It'll have information about what the first week is going to look like. It's going to have a couple of videos that I made for them. One about reading your timetable, and one about, well, including in that reading your timetable, also how to make appointments if you have any questions. That's going to be a second video, kind of two little quick tutorial things, just using screen capture that you can use. What I'll say briefly is that for this first week, no students need to be on site until Thursday. They may set appointments to meet with me Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon, and you can see the how-to videos if you have a timetable issue that you need to deal with for that. But otherwise, students are all going to be coming in on Thursday and Friday for one roughly 2-hour class each. And the Thursday is going to represent the class that you're starting face-to-face for the first 2 weeks of quarter one. And the Friday will be for the class that you're starting in quarter one as remote. This goes and ties in hand, in case anyone's feeling confused already, with a second video that I made talking about the change from linear to quarterly system. So we're all going to be taking on average 2 classes instead of an entire year of 8, 4 quarters of 2. There are classes like off timetable classes, choirs and leaderships and strings and things like this that'll exist throughout the entire year. There'll also be classes that exist in something called flex time, and you can get information about all that in the videos as well. Again, either look at the family bulletin that's going to be sent out, I think, pretty late, I've been told by Ms. Calder tonight, or also from the Van Tech YouTube channel, where we're going to post all those videos. So yeah, that's coming. You, of course, can reach out to me through Remind or through email if you've got questions, and I'll be on site in person. It'll be busy, but I'll be on site in person for many hours, both during and after school. Next thing I wanted to say is just heads up, and it's going to be different for me, and I'm going to have to adapt to this myself. But my office, just because of the size of it, it's kind of small, is going to need to be a mask-only zone. And I'll put a sign out in front. I just can't keep 2 meters, and obviously we're going to be in close quarters indoors. So heads up, if you're coming to see me at any point in my office, it's going to need to be mask-on situation, and I'll be doing that too. We'll be awkward together, but it's important. We got to do it. Real quick note on, just going through my notes here, real quick note on CS and peer tutoring. Peer tutors, I've already emailed you. Check your email. We'll find a good placement for you. And for CS as well, something just to keep in mind, students can pick up that form from either the counseling suite, and we might also put some in the office because we're going to be in the small gym for much of the 2 weeks handling timetable information. I'll come to that in just 1 second. But if you're going to be a CS student this year, you are responsible for finding your own teacher. If it's not a quarter one spot that you have in your timetable for CS, then you don't really need to worry about doing it right away. You can wait weeks. It's not a problem at all. You get through the first week of school and worry about it after. But if you are in the first quarter, you're going to need to act very quickly in finding a teacher. Keep in mind the way that the CS is going to work is it's going to be just like taking a class. So you and the teacher both have to agree that you will be one of the students in that learning bubble. So when that class meets face to face and you're a CS for that student, you also are going to be there face to face with a group. It's no different than taking out any other class, but it's something just to think about. I know there's lots of questions about post-secondary. This way more information down the line, I'm sure in October. Here's what I can say that I would imagine is going to definitely, well, I imagine will carry over, and that's that having worked in semestered school in Victoria years ago, post-secondaries will use grade 12 information when it's available, and when it's not, they will rely on your grade 11 and prove that you're going to take it in grade 12. So if I have an English 12, for example, and that's always the staple, the first thing that everyone looks to for post-secondary, and my grade 12 English is in the fourth quarter, that's not an issue, but they're going to rely on my English 11 mark for most of my admission. This also works, as you can imagine, with math and sciences and socials and everything else. Most of our grade 12s, since this turned out being a good thing, took socials 12 in advance, so they'll be able to use that already as one of their academics from last year. But it's not a big deal if you don't. You show what you can, and they understand that there's limits to that. You of course can ask me questions. I also want to mention Talisman Society. I'm committed to continuing this, and we will continue this. I apologize, my laundry is going off in the other room right now, like a jet engine. So Talisman Society, it's going to be difficult, but we will find a way. I want to celebrate all of the students that have lived up to and continue this year to live up to their half of the bargain. So no matter how much time it takes, we'll figure out who's deserving, and we will award those people one way or another. The orientation days I already mentioned, Thursday and Friday, Thursday being your first face-to-face class. I'm going to be calling that quartered 1-1. I would suggest students start doing this too. Get away from that whole 1-1, 1-2 situation. Quarter 1-1 is your first face-to-face class. And then Friday is going to be your quarter 1-2, which is the class you're starting with remote. And for families and parents that are watching, I just want to let you know that we will be doing, we as me at this point, but we will be doing a parent night in October, and I'll be canvassing to see what sorts of questions parents would really like to know for this year. I had originally intended, truth be told, to do this actually last May. And for obvious reasons, that completely fell apart because it just made no sense to do it. But we will be doing that, and we will be planning together going forward. So without further ado, welcome to Grad 2021, the final year. Go check the videos, go check the website, check with all the information I put up there, and take care. Look forward to seeing your faces, even if they're behind a mask.